What is up, family? Welcome back to another one. Desiree D. Ray Wise, spiritual healing coach here, helping you to heal your relationship with self, to heal your relationship with others. So, over the past few weeks, really since like November, right? I've been talking a lot about goddess energy. I've been talking a lot specifically about the dark goddess energy, what that actually is, and why it is important for us as women to learn to embody that energy. A lot of the times that I've been talking about it, I've been talking about it from a place of talking about the positive sides, the positive aspects of the dark goddess energy. And I have to do my due diligence and let y'all know that dark goddess energy, just as good energy and just as everything has two sides to the spectrum, okay, so does embodying and activating this dark goddess energy. So does exploring this dark goddess energy. So I feel like it is of high importance that I come and share with y'all some of the things to be aware of, some of the dangerous, and I say dangerous, um, that's a multi-layered statement as well, right? I don't mean like your life is in danger. I mean just frustrations, right? Annoyances, certain things that may come up as you are dealing with the dark goddess, as you are tapping into energies of shadow work, transformation, healing, and as you are uh, being more willing to advocate to yourself for yourself, as you are deciding to focus more energy and intention into yourself, there are certain issues that come up with that. And so I want to talk about that today really quickly, just to make sure that you all have that understanding and we can't say, oh, D Ray only talked about the good things, like, having your boundaries, or D Ray only talked about the positive things and like the self care and all of that. But D Ray did not tell us about the craziness that comes from tapping into your dark goddess energy. Okay. Or, for the brothers that may be on here, the challenges that you may face when you are dealing with or engaging with a woman who is healthily in her dark goddess energy. This is a conversation that we have to have. Okay. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Hey to everybody that is in the chat. Welcome, welcome. Do me a favor right now. Not even a favor right now. It's not even a favor, but do the right thing and like the video. And if you know people who are called to information like this, who find these type of topics interesting, go ahead and send it to them. Say, hey, my girl D-Ray is live. Let me tell y'all why that is so important, right? So some of y'all may know, if you are a part of my email community, if you are a part of my Sacred Sister tribe, if you are just a spiritual woman on this path, you may know that Womb Alchemy 2.0 is starting next week. If you don't know, I'm telling you right now, Womb Alchemy 2.0 is starting next week. And it is like, it's the, it's the upgraded level of my spiritual wisdom child, so to speak, right? Womb Alchemy 1, right, which is a 5-week course, was given to me spiritually during 2020, right? But now, 4 years later, Spirit has given me a heightened level of awareness and wisdom and insight. And so Womb Alchemy 2.0 is me talking all about what I've learned over the 4 years from doing womb work, right? But something so beautiful, why I want to tell y'all, it is so very important to make sure that you are having these conversations with the people that you love, right? So one of my ladies in the community, she's always supported, right? She's been supportive for years at this point, right? At this point, she's been supportive. And so she trusts me. So she has a friend that was experiencing some challenges in her life, some relationship challenges, and just not feeling like her confident, loving, whole self. And so she recommended her friend to me, right? She sent her friend my information and said, hey, you probably want to book a session with D-Ray. Get on a call with her, see if she can give you some insight, some feedback, whatever. I have a conversation with this young lady last week at the beginning of the week. It was a 15-minute consultation, really quickly. Jumped in, jumped out, had a great time, gave her some insight. And she was so appreciative for that, right? She was just like, wow, you literally just unlocked and opened some things in my mind that I needed to know in order to move forward, right? And so it was great. And so I made sure to tell her, I said, well, make sure you come to the Return of the Dark Goddess workshop that is happening on Saturday, right? It was absolutely free. If you are part of my email list, you still have time to go and watch the Return of the Dark Goddess. I absolutely recommend y'all watch that video, that workshop. If you are a woman that is wanting to tap into your power, it is a must see. Okay. It is a must experience. It is a must listen. There's so many downloads and activations in it. Anyways, the young lady comes to the live session of Return of the Dark Goddess. And of course, I offer Womb Alchemy 2.0. If you want to know more about Womb Alchemy 2.0, the link is right there in the chat. I only have 2 more spots left in Womb Alchemy 2.0, right? So all the ladies are signing up for Womb Alchemy 2.0, going. And then one of our beautiful Patreon members, she messages me and she says, hey, I'm spiritually being called to pay for somebody to join the class. And I was like, so beautiful. Thank you for that. And so what I did was I put it out there in the email. I said, hey, if you're interested in Womb Alchemy 2.0, I'm going to do a raffle to all the people that email me their names. And if a winner pops, whoever the winner is, you're going to be gifted with Womb Alchemy 2.0 from one of our beautiful Patreon members who felt called in her spirit to share this wealth, right? So again, the friend who's been supporting me for years, like I've worked with her in regular Womb Alchemy, I've done readings for her. She knows your girl, she trusts your girl. She sends me an email. She says, hey, I want to put my friend's name in to win the raffle for Womb Alchemy 2.0. And sure enough, I took a video. I didn't post a video. I took a video. I should have posted it just so that y'all can see, but I really just put the information out there. Sure enough, right? Sure enough, I do the video, right? Let me see. Sure enough, this is the video. Y'all be able to, hold on, wait. Stop talking, D-Ray. Stop talking, wait. Because on one of them, I did the voiceover. Look, sure enough, I do the thing on the wheel. You can see it, but not really. You can see it, but not really. But sure enough, the friend, let me see if it will focus. Let me see. No, the camera's too bright. Sure enough, the friend who told her friend about me and the friend who said, put my friend in the raffle, sure enough, she would win the raffle. Why am I saying all of that, right? Why am I saying all of that? I am saying all of that to let y'all know that there are people that are in your lives who are really craving this information, who are really craving this insight, who are really craving this spiritual wisdom. You are doing them a disservice and yourself a disservice if you don't extend this to them and give them the opportunity to choose, right? Because the people who were going to win that raffle for Womb Alchemy were only people who attended the class live. So when the young lady attended the class live, that was her saying, okay, I am going to invest in myself. I'm going to show up and see what I can learn and gain from this situation, right? And so not only did she gain insight in the consultation that she had, not only did she gain insight in coming to the class live, but her showing up for herself and her receiving what her friend had offered led her to winning a wealth of knowledge, right? She's going to get a consultation with me. She gets Womb Alchemy 1. That is 5 classes at minimum, hour and a half, 2 hours long. That is full of powerful healing work. She's going to get a goddess activation from me where I'm going to tune into the energy and determine What type of quality, what type of essence, what type of personality is she already embodying that maybe she's not appreciating or leaning more into or using, right? Purposefully in her life. And so it all started with just her friend saying, hey, friend, hey, my girl, hey, my sister, I think that you could use this insight. So, and I think that that understanding is really a cosmic and a quantum one. It's not even just about sharing my videos or sharing my content or sharing me with people, right? Because I am for a select few. I am not for everybody, right? But just in life, be the type of person that when you are out and about and when you are engaging with people and you're present in your life, if you recognize that something would be of value to someone else, you lean into that, right? You embrace that because just that seed that you would sow into someone else through your observation and through your recognition that there's somebody in your life that could use whatever it is you are observing, just that in itself is a gift to the person, but that is also a gift to you. You may very well be blessing them. 100% you are blessing them. But when you bless others, you bless yourself. Do unto others as you would have them to do unto you. Give and you shall receive. Reap and you shall sow. And so this is just a very beautiful science, okay? And so um like I said, I have a few more spots left in Womb Alchemy 2.0. Join. And let me say this. I'm gonna go ahead and do this because there were two ladies that signed up to that wanted to win the raffle, right? They wanted to win the raffle. They put their names in. They did their bid and they didn't win, right? They didn't win. And I was so inspired. I was so inspired by the young lady in Patreon um whose name I just won't share right now because I just don't know if she would want her name out there. But I appreciate you, sis, for gifting a woman this wealth of healing and information. But I'm inspired by that, right? And so there were two ladies who had reached out to me to join Womb Alchemy 2.0, but did not have the resources at the moment to do it. And so I'm going to do another raffle for both of them, right? I am putting both of their names in the random generator selector thingy. I'm going to share my screen. And if you ladies are on here and if you come across this video, I want you to discover this on your own, right? You ladies, I don't know if you're here. I know you will probably see this video because, you've been rocking with me, right? But we are going to pick one of those ladies to also join Womb Alchemy 2.0 free of charge, right? Because I'm just so appreciative of what another young lady did. So we got Stacy and we got Chris, right? Red or blue? Do we want the red pill or the blue pill? Spirit, you're going to let us know. But one of these ladies will be gifted access to Womb Alchemy 2.0. I'm excited about it because they've been showing up. They've been doing their work. Both of them have been a part of my community for a while. So I want to gift them this opportunity. Let's see who the winner will be. Spin. Stacy. It is Stacy. All right, lovely, 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 lovely. Congratulations, Stacy. You are getting access to Womb Alchemy 2.0. Whenever you see this video, shoot me a message. You deserve it. Okay, you deserve it. You've been showing up, you've been supporting, and I want you to have this insight. Okay. Let's get into the information on the dangers of dark goddess energy. Just to recap a little bit, right? Dark goddess energy is not negative energy. I want to make that clear. I feel like people could I feel like people see the word dark and they automatically assume it is something negative, and that holistically needs to change, right? That holistically needs to change. Uh because you have dark skin, right? That's something negative, right? Dark complexion, right? Dark time or nighttime. You assume that bad things or negative things happen when anything is connected to darkness. And that is a total terrible, shitty programming, right? And this is a part of the issue that has made colorism what it is. So, like even this question I see today, dangers attack to heart in general. I don't even know what's being said here. I don't even know. But I get the sense that the question is, what is the need for dark energy? But even that question in itself, to me, speaks to this assumption that dark is synonymous with bad. So we got to get out of that, right? That's like the mentality that light is right or white is right and black is wrong. Stop. Okay? So that's number 1. The essence of dark goddess energy is saying you're internal. First of all, if we really get down to it, we understand that everything comes from darkness. Out of darkness comes light, but people want to disregard the darkness. People want to discard the darkness, right? God had to say, let there be light. That means at first there was darkness, there wasn't light. So darkness comes first. Darkness is the start. We come from darkness, and darkness we shall return. Okay? So when we understand that concept, just to do a recap of our last conversations, when we understand that concept, we're looking at how returning back to our source, how being into ourselves and not so into the world, we're looking at what it means to truly become one with oneself, not just the parts of ourselves that society has said is good and well, right? Dark goddess energy is saying, this is me and this is me, and I embrace both sides of me. Dark goddess energy is saying, I accept the fact that there are parts of me that may be bitchy, that may be controlling, that may be loud, that may be untimely, that may procrastinate. I may be an overthinker. It's looking at those parts of yourself and not rejecting it. Not telling yourself, oh, because I'm an overthinker, because I'm an anxious person, because I'm indecisive, I'm bad and I'm unworthy. Dark goddess energy says, I have those qualities and I'm still great, and I'm still beautiful, and I'm still worthy, and I'm still deserving. Dark goddess energy is about the full embrace of oneself. And what I realized when we tap into this energy, and this is why I had to make this video, is that things that were unseen show up to the surface. Illusions and lies and veils that have been over our eyes begin to be revealed. And that's because God, the divine, the higher self, is like, okay, let's look at the full spectrum of this thing. This is why, the Bible says God is like, God is a wrathful God, but God is also a loving and compassionate God. So are we supposed to feel like within our human experience that we are not both of those things? That we don't have both sides of the coin? Okay. That is totally unrealistic. And that does yourself a disservice to only try to be, right, what society says is good. Okay. So one of the first things when dealing with dark goddess energy, when you are coming to that side of Big Mama that is tough love, understand that a lot of times there will be destruction. I like to see it as like a tower moment, right? Things crumbling down. And though this is gut wrenching to our human, though this is, our physical bodies, right? Our physical life experience rejects and resents these things. It is so good for the soul, right? We've all heard of people having traumatic experiences, maybe even near-death experiences. Their human body is going through it. Their family is sad and upset or whatever, but they come to understand a deeper level of themselves and their spiritual wisdom and their spiritual insight. They gain more purpose. Just yesterday, the day before yesterday, Dream and I were looking at the Jamie Foxx thing. Did y'all catch the Jamie Foxx whatever special? It wasn't really a special because it wasn't a lot of comedy in there, but he was really telling his story of what happened to him sometime last year when he went through his health scare, right? That's one of those moments. And dark goddess energy does not have to take you to that extreme, right? But that's one of those moments where it's scary, it's fearful. You are in the womb. You are in the darkness. You are in the unknown. You don't know what the hell is about to happen. But when you enter the light and you come out on the other side, you have a greater sense of clarity, a greater sense of understanding, a greater sense of self-awareness, and a greater sense of appreciation for this human experience itself. Many times, this is one of the gifts of the dark goddess energy and the destructive energy of it, is that many times we take life for granted. Especially a lot of times in the spiritual community, because everybody's like, oh, I want to leave and never come back. And, oh, forget the human experience, all of the lies. The dark goddess comes in and shakes shit up so that you begin to embrace, accept, and appreciate that you are a living, breathing, divine being. The dark goddess comes through to remind you that, because sometimes we be out of balance. Sometimes you all spirit and you forget about the human. Then sometimes you're all human and you forget about the spirit. Either way, when the dark goddess comes through, when Big Mama, that great mother, the dark womb, right? When that energy comes through, they help, that essence helps you to realize the fullness of who you are. Both sides, right? Mortal in your humanity, but immortal in your spirituality. Immortal in your spirit. Immortal in your essence, right? And so that energy isn't fun when it comes through. And it comes through in so many different ways, right? Like Jamie Foxx, he was like, he forgot about God and God had to remind him of what and who God was through that experience, But at the end of the day, these lessons come through as gifts. Oh, God. And it takes a while for your well, and let me put it this way. The greater your ability to surrender, the faster you come through the lesson. The faster the tower can be rebuilt that was broken down. When we resist the challenges that the dark goddess energy is facing, is giving us, when we resist them, when we fight them, like, no, I don't want to feel this. No, no, no. The longer it takes to come back into wholeness, which was the gift, which was the reason behind the experience anyways, to create more balance, spiritual and physical balance. And so destruction, that's one of the things that you want to be aware of when it comes down to tapping into dark goddess energy. It's such a beautiful thing because a lot of times the lives that we built have to be destroyed in order to have the life we were meant to live. right? Like who you thought you were, what you thought you needed, who you thought you needed, who you thought you didn't need. Oh, spirit comes through in so many ways. There may be a person in your life who you've taken for granted. And maybe they just decide they're no longer dealing with your shit. You know, maybe they just decide they're going to put up boundaries. They're done. And now that you don't have access to that person, you like, fuck, I didn't realize how important this person was to me. I didn't realize the difference this person really made in my life. So the dark goddess comes through and she's like, oh, okay. You know, the dark goddess is like the mama who has to go and grab that belt because she told you, you know, or it happens both ways, right? Big mama comes in and she's like, she's whispering to you, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. You don't do it. Now she got to go and get the belt, right? But the same side, right? The same energy is don't touch the stove, it's hot. Don't touch the stove, it's hot. Instead of her running over there and pulling your hand away from the stove, you get caught slipping and you touch it. All of these things are beautiful, even though the human thinks that it's ugly and it's despicable and it's distraught, right? Will Capru just came in here. Hey, Will, Uncle Willie, right? And I'll never forget when Katrina happened. I was in middle school, I believe. Yeah, I was in middle school. Absolutely. I was in middle school. I remember when all of the people came from New Orleans to my middle school. Oh, it was a whole experience. Like the culture changed in Houston once a lot of our New Orleanians, right, came to Houston. Totally changed the dynamic. I remember. Actually, one of my closest best friends who ended up dying in 8th grade. Like what? Like think about that. We are in 8th grade. Homeboy, Big Mike. He just came to Houston escaping Hurricane Katrina. A year, some months into escaping Hurricane Katrina, he gets murdered. Craziness, right? In 8th grade. Like, what is this? See, I had never seen anything like that. I had never seen anything like that in Houston, even though I grew up in an impoverished, low socioeconomic neighborhood. I had never seen it so close to people my same age. But when Hurricane Katrina happened and people from New Orleans came, I started to see people transition in an untimely way at a young age. Right? After him, one of my Mexican homeboys named Mario, a few months later, shot in 8th grade. So the people from New Orleans definitely brought with them a certain energy, which changed the dynamic in Houston. On one hand, it changed it for the better, right? I think more food, right? More flavor, that Creole seasoning, that Creole love and food, that kind of came. Beignets came, right? But on the other hand, the a little bit of that destructive energy also came with it. So I remember when that happened, and of course it was traumatic, right? And at the time I didn't have the insight that I have now, but I remember when we were talking to you, Will, about it, and you were like, that needed to happen given the state of being of New Orleans at that time, given the way that people were living, right? The predominant spirit of New Orleans at that time was one of hate and destruction and death, right? And so dark goddess energy, big mama energy, hurricane energy comes through and shakes things up. So that is just one of the very real examples. Dream and I are also watching this show on Netflix called La Palma, which is about a tsunami that happened on that side of town. I'm thinking La Palma. I don't even know where La Palma is at. I know it's not far from like Madrid, Spain, things like that side of the world, right? Okay, it's a island in Spain, right? So we're watching that, and it's so interesting to see how the earth, big mama, right? This provider, how she taps into something and she'll come through and wipe some shit out, or send some snow, or send a freeze, or send a tornado. What we gonna do? Curse the mama? What you gonna do? Damn you, earth? No. You accept that this is a part of what dark goddess, dark mother, great mother energy is. And you look for the gifts in it. It makes me also think about this. It makes me think about the few times where I've had to give my kids a whooping. Spare the rod, spoil the child, right? I know some of y'all may be gentle parenters. Some of y'all may be like, oh, I don't whip my kids. I was telling myself that was going to be me. I was telling myself that I was not going to whip my kids. And I tried for a long time. And even now, when they get disciplined in that way, it's only for one thing. It's only for one thing. If I taught you it and you disregard the teachings, that to me is worthy of discipline. And the discipline comes in many ways. But if I know that you know better and you say, forget what mama said, I'm going to do what I want to do, that's when big mama got to come through. Okay? But in that, I teach the lesson again. So you're going to get your discipline because I know you know better, right? And then I'm going to reteach. So that's dark goddess energy. It's, okay, this is what I need you to get. And if you're not getting it, let me take you through some experiences that will help you to have a greater realization. And when it's all said and done, I'm going to wrap my arms around you, and you're going to leave that situation feeling better about yourself, feeling stronger, feeling more empowered, if you will allow the lesson to happen. If you will allow the lesson to happen. If you are fighting, if you're resisting, if you're like, no, 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 no. That's like my kids. That's like my kids. They know they about to get in trouble, and they want to try to play and act like they're not going to come over here and da-da-da-da-da-da. You're making the situation worse. Okay? And so we just got to understand that this is what it is, right? That's a part of the energy. This just happened to me 2 days ago, right? In its own way. And I'll tell y'all some of the spiritual things that Spirit was actually, giving me through this experience, right? Is that, and this topic, what I'm about to share with y'all is going to tie into what this aromatic just said, where they said, everything I think about is light. It's going to tie in with that, right? So some way, somehow, hundreds of ants ends up in my drawer full of my clothes. I don't know how this happened. I don't have no sugar in my clothes. I don't got no food in my clothes. Like, I don't know what led them to my drawer. And the way that I discovered this, right? I grabbed my t-shirt because I'm about to go coach volleyball. So I grabbed my t-shirt and I'm like holding it, and I'm seeing a whole bunch of like ants. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, why are there ants all over my t-shirt? Anyways, I didn't have time to address it then because I needed to go. I was about to go coach a private lesson. So I go and I called Dream and I'm like, hey, babe, remind me to look in my drawer when I get home because for some reason there's ants on my shirt. I get home after practice, take all of my clothes out. My drawer is filled with ants, multiple drawers, not just one. Like literally they were climbing up the back wall of my dresser and I don't know, just rummaging through my clothes. Frustrating. And I was kind of pissed off in the moment because I'm like, what the hell is this? It felt like a violation, right? Ants, they don't give a damn. They will violate your space for whatever their goal is. And that is what they were doing. They were violating my space, right? I'm grabbing my bra to try to put it on. This ant's crawling over it. Matter of fact, the other day, I was like scratching one of my breasts. I was like, why is this breast itching like crazy? And when I saw all of those ants, I was like, oh shit. An ant must have been on my bra. I didn't realize it. It must have got me. So I take out all of my clothes. I look at all the ants. I kill them. I hit them with some spray. And I'm like, what is this, spirit? Why is this showing up in my drawer right now so randomly? Like, it ain't happening in dreams drawer. It's not really happening anywhere else. What is this all about? And so I go throughout, because this was at night when I'm having this realization. And so I just keep going throughout the day, throughout the night, straightening up things. And Dream and I come to the conclusion to throw it all away. And this is spiritual too, right? On my phone, I have this app called Costar, and a message or a notification just came up that says your day at a glance, and it says go back to the very beginning. Going back to the very beginning, y'all, is returning back to the mother. Whether you think of it as your biological mother, whether you think of it as the great mother, the womb, right? Holistically, that's the very beginning. That's the conception, okay? This earth, scientifically, we know came about through the Big Bang Theory. Again, out of darkness comes light. So that's just some synchronicity for how spirit be working, especially when I'm on here doing my thing. That's beautiful. So anyways, we decide to throw it all away. Let me ask y'all this. If you were me and you were in that situation, or if ants had violated your clothes, what would y'all have done? Would y'all have just thrown it in the washer and let the washer kill them and deal with it? Would you have just taken the clothes off, killed the ants, folded the clothes back up? Like, what would y'all have done? Let me know in the comments. The path of least resistance for me was throw it all away. That was the path of least resistance. I felt like everything else was going to take too much work, right? Washing 4 full big drawers of clothes and folding them, way too much, right? Sorting and sifting through and saying, I want this, I don't want this, I want this, I don't want this at 9 o'clock at night, way too much. Like things like that, you got to plan for, right? When I want to go through and detox my clothes and detox my closet, I plan a day in advance. I'm like, okay, tomorrow or the next day, I'm going through my clothes and this is what I'm doing. I didn't have time for that. So the path of least resistance and the surrenderance was throw them all in a bag, get rid of them. So ended up getting rid of 3 full trash bags of my clothes. Funny enough, the ants have gone. The ants have gone. They're gone. They're not in my drawer no more. They're not anywhere in our bedroom anymore. They're gone. But all of those clothes are also gone. And as I was thinking about this and reflecting on this, I saw an eye come into my mind's eye. So one of my spiritual gifts is that of vision, right? Like I see things. So like I'll be laying down in the bed and I'll just see a vision of something. Sometimes it may be a person that comes up in my vision. Sometimes it may be a tree or whatever. Like it'll just be something different. And that night, what actually came up in my vision was an eye, one eye, just one eye. And it had the same colors as the evil eye. Now, mind you, I'm not conjuring this. I'm not visualizing this. I'm not asking this to come into my vision. I'm just reflecting. I'm just laying in the bed and this is what I see. And immediately I'm like, oh, okay, that's the evil eye. All right. And a part of what I was feeling when I first saw these ants in my drawer the first thing I thought was some sort of type of infestation type energy. This is not normal for ants who be in a drawer. This is supernatural. This is spiritual. And so when I saw the evil eye, I'm like, oh, it's somebody out there who is maybe thinking about me way too much, thinking about uh like my appearance or like how I show up online. Maybe they admire it, and that admiration it kind of can turn into something unhealthy. Um because clothes, this is how you cover yourself. This is your aesthetic. This is how you present yourself, right? And when I saw that evil eye, and this is the thing about spirituality and about growth in general, we cannot disregard these things and just chalk it up, right? See, and this is why this comment of everything I see, everything I think about is light. The problem with that is it's one-sided and it's unrealistic to the nature of humanity. You got God, and God had to create a devil. Let's think about that. If God is the creator of all things, right? And God says it, I create all things. And God created the devil. That lets us know that God holistically created duality for a reason, right? You got light, meaning sun, and you got the moon. Okay? We got hot, we got cold, right? We got up, we got down. We got in, we got out. We got heads, we got tails, right? You got masculine, you got feminine. So this duality, we have to respect that it's there. And that's one of the lessons that the dark goddess was teaching me in this experience. Stacy, guess what, Stacy? I am going to gift you Womb Alchemy. So the raffle, another woman won when I did the another woman won when I did the thing from a gift that one of our beautiful Patreon members, I'm gonna say Miss Johnson, right? Miss Johnson had literally paid for another woman to join Womb Alchemy. When I did that raffle, a specific woman, when I did the random wheel selector thing, a specific woman won that, and I told her about that, and she has been already enjoying her bonuses. But I was so grateful that someone would say to themselves, like, I want to pay for somebody else to get this, that I'm like, okay, of course I have to do the same thing, of course, using my time and my energy. And so before you got on here, funny enough, Stacy, I said, I know Stacy's going to see this video some way, somehow. And so before you got on here, I'm going to share my screen just so you can see it. Before you got on here, I put your name and another young lady's name, and your name was the winner. So you will have access to Womb Alchemy 2.0. I will put you in that email list so that you can see all the things that you need to see. So congratulations to you. And that's the rest of like the gifts I'll be giving out unless you join. If you join Womb Alchemy, you make the investment, you're going to get a consultation with me, a goddess activation reading with me, a small gift, a small token of appreciation from me, and you get Womb Alchemy 1 through 5. Okay, so congratulations to you, Stacy. I'm going to be messaging you, Stacy, to give you more of the details. Okay, getting back to the topic, though, what I have realized about myself was I, too, would oftentimes disregard the darkness of life and of humanity, right? I would be like, all love and light. I would think to myself, everybody must be like me. Not literally, but I was naive in the sense of what is jealousy? What is envy? Because I've never been that. I've never had that, right? I've always been the type to admire and appreciate people, but not to a point to where I want to be them, or I want to emulate my life after theirs, or I wish I had what they had. I wish I was them. My mother just didn't raise me and my brothers like that. And so when it comes down to me and the work that I do, I just kind of didn't really understand the fact that there would be people out there who get annoyed with my message, or people who don't like it, or people who are frustrated, right? Like I almost had like blinders on that doesn't happen, right? And that is an illusion. And so the gift of the dark goddess is understanding that everything is not love and light, right? That there are some evil and wicked people in this world. There are people who don't want to see you succeed. There are people who don't want you to be happy. And they don't know why they feel that way. Sometimes they do. But it is what it is. It doesn't stop the fact that people are not there who have that vibration, right? And no matter how much you want to be love and light, it does not mean that somebody won't look at you and can't stand that light. You could be showing up from the most greatest, sweetest place of love, which that is who I am and that is what I do at all times. But recognize that people have their traumas, people have their shit, and because they have their shit, sometimes they can't receive that love. And so that's what the dark goddess was teaching me through what was happening with my clothes, which is a super blessing now, because a lot of the clothes that I have, they're still connected to an older version of me. They're connected to an aspect of me that I no longer resonate with. They're, it's just not even representative of who I am today and my body today, right? I had so many clothes that were too big for me right now. Like after I had the kids, I was buying larges and like extra large and certain stuff, and it just wasn't fitting right. Like even this dress, I have on a dress right now, right? It could even be tighter, right? And it's probably a large. It's probably a large or a medium. I don't know. But like your girl can really wear a medium consistently in all of my clothes, where all of my other stuff is larges. Do you understand? So I had to recognize when I saw that evil eye, and then the dream that I had, which really validated the vision that I had, and this understanding like, oh, okay, maybe somebody energy is just a little too much entangled into my energy. And so I had to Palo Santo and say my prayers and do my words. But at the same time, I said, thank you, thank you, spirit, because this experience helps me, one, to make sure that I cover myself in every way, shape, and form, right? But also that I just realized like this is what life is, right? Duality exists. And at some point, we just got to understand that and not be so all I see is light, all I see is love, and disregard the other side. Like we can observe that there is something else there without becoming attached to it. So when I observed that what was happening and spirit fully revealed to me and showed me it, I didn't get like frustrated or mad or be like, oh my God, oh, scary. Somebody is, thinking about me too much, or somebody wants to be in on what I got going on too much or whatever. I understood, okay, one, I've been doing a lot of work recently. I've been live a lot recently. I have been teaching classes. I did the live class. I've been live. So I'm on the forefront of people's minds more. People are thinking about things that I've saying more, and that hasn't happened in a few months. So that was just my reminder, like, okay, Desiree, you're doing this work, but you still have to do the work to make sure that you insulate yourself with the proper spiritual protection. The dark goddess energy is the energy that teaches that type of essence, right? Like don't be out here all naive and thinking that all is love and that they're not predators out here. There are, right? Spiritual predators, physical predators, financial predators, right? You got scammers calling your phone every day. Understand that this is happening. Let's not be naive to the fact. That's what one of the lessons that the Dark Goddess teaches us. The last thing I got to share about the Dark Goddess, and then I have to get off of here. I have a consultation. Is the Dark Goddess helps us to really recognize the illusions. And I'll say it like this way. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. This is so good. A part of the message of the Dark Goddess is to keep it real, right? To be honest, to be authentic, to be direct. We need that energy, right? We absolutely need that energy. But I also want to warn you. I want to warn you that keeping it real can go wrong. Was y'all expecting that? Were you expecting me to say keeping it real can go wrong? I'm here to tell you this is one of the lessons of the Dark Goddess. The Dark Goddess urges you to be authentic, urges you to be real, urges you to say what's on your mind, mean what you say, and say what you mean. Let me message my client real quick and ask her for 5 more minutes really quickly. Copy email address. Just 5 more minutes because I don't want to leave here without speaking incomplete. I gotta end it complete, right? I can't say, oh, look, y'all, I gotta go real quick. I do gotta go, but we're gonna go in the right way. Right? So keeping it real can go wrong. And you know what? And my hubby, my love, Dream, y'all, he has always been teaching me this lesson. And I was learning and I was picking up on it and I was embracing it. And I was like, okay, watch what you say, D-Ray. Watch what you say, D-Ray. Don't let everybody in on everything. You got to be very peculiar. You got to be very whatever. Like sometimes keeping it real can go wrong, right? The Dark Goddess wants you to be honest, right? The Dark Goddess wants you to be direct, but understand that there could be repercussions that comes with that. Okay. Here's an example. I was y'all know I work at a volleyball school where I coach girls. I teach them volleyball, right? That's what I do. And I am a manager there. I'm a coordinator there, program coordinator, which basically just means I I make sure that the other coaches are doing what they need to do, right? I make sure that all is well. I make sure that they're delivering messages well or whatever. And there's another young lady who has the same position as me. And so we do the same thing. And so we often have to talk about things. And I've just been in this position as a coordinator now for probably since maybe June. No, July, like July or something like that is when I moved into this position. So it's still fairly new to me. This other young lady has been working there for a while, right? She's been working there maybe 2 years. And so we have conversations that were friendly, right? Friendly conversations because that we've been friends. We've been friends, right? For the time that I've been working there leading up to it. Matter of fact, she was the one that recommended that I become the other manager because she was feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Okay? Because she was feeling a little bit overwhelmed with having to supervise adults. And so we talk about things, we keep it real, we whatever. So I was feeling, right? I'm keeping it real. And so I have my evaluation with the owner of the company, and he says things to me that I find to be quite funny. You know what I mean? He says something to me like, "Yeah, I had to intervene between you and so and figure this date thing out, what day you're going to be working." When he said that to me, I kind of took offense to that in a sense because I'm like, what do you mean you had to intervene? What do you mean you had to intervene? Because I don't feel like there was an issue. I didn't know there was a problem for you to have to intervene on. And you know what that said to me? Hold on, let me finish this email to her. And trust me, y'all, if you have consultations booked with me, I won't be running late, okay? I just got to finish these thoughts and then I'm going to get off of here, okay? So don't worry if you have consultations with me. Your girl will be on time and I will continue to communicate and I'll let you know what's going on. And if I'm 5 minutes late, I'm going to give you 5 minutes on the back end because I respect your time and I appreciate you, okay? But when the guy said to me, I had to intervene to me seems like there's a disconnect, there's some miscommunication, there's some confrontation between two people, and you had to step in and make things right. And for him to get that concept, or for him to feel like that's what he needed to say in my evaluation, that makes me feel like homegirl who I was cool with, homegirl who I've been friendly with, homegirl who I thought we could be real and authentic about what we feel and what we think, is going and relaying a message that is not in alignment with reality, or that is not in alignment with my reality. And so when he said that, and he said some other little things, immediately that dark goddess energy kind of activated in me and was like, oh, okay, yeah, y'all cool, y'all good, whatever, but watch your words. Watch your words, right? Be very specific about what you say and what you don't say, right? Matter in fact, say less. Say less, right? Not because I talk too much or not because I've said too much or whatever, but for the simple fact that I don't know her triggers. I don't know her shortcomings. I don't know all of what makes her who she is that could impact how I want to be perceived in this space. Okay. I have the gift of being able to recognize certain things. Like I see certain things in this specific young lady. I can see it and I can understand it. And one of the big things that I recognize for her is a lack of self-advocacy. I kind of told y'all about this in another video, how this discussion was happening. But see, I advocate for myself, which was why he felt like he needed to intervene, which is why he felt like he needed to speak up on behalf of the other person. Do you understand what I mean? So sometimes in our dark goddess energy, we're being asked to be honest, to be authentic, and to be direct. But it is also very important to be very demure. Okay. It is also very important to be very mindful, right? Because a part of the dark goddess energy is destroying the ego, is chopping off heads, it's unveiling yourself and unveiling others. But there's a way that you have to do it that won't create a certain demise or destruction of what it is that you need. Okay. So those are just some of the dangers or some of the aspects of dark goddess energy that we need to be aware of. One, we need to be aware of the fact that it can cause destruction. You may have to throw all your clothes away. All your clothes you may got to throw away. You may have to throw away or leave a relationship, right? You may have to backdoor and go apologize to somebody who you probably was telling yourself you would never apologize to. You probably have to do things you thought that you would not do for whatever reason, because this energy is pushing you and forcing you and asking you to grow and to evolve and to walk in the path of this new state of being. And it's not pretty. It's not cute. It's not fun. Literally, I only have right now, y'all, I only have clothes that were in the washer, right? When I discovered all the ants, and I only have clothes that were hanging up in my closet. Everything that was in my drawer is gone. I don't even know where to start when it comes down to rebuilding my wardrobe. I have no clue of where to even start with this process, right? I don't know if I should just shop on an as needed basis and walk around the house in my robe, which I like doing that anyways. I don't know if it's like, okay, I got to go here today, or I got to go do this weekend. Let me just pick up items from that. I don't know if I should go to Target, or Target is my favorite store. I don't know if I should go to Target and get me a whole bunch of basic shirts just to have something to consistently throw on easily and effortlessly. Like, I don't even know where to start with this process. But Dark Goddess energy will break some shit down to build up something new. And I'm actually like super excited about it. Like, I'm super excited about how my aesthetic gets to change, and I get to fully embody a different version of myself who is more aligned with the goddess that has always been within me, but has been veiled, or that has been hiding behind the traumas and the dramas. The dark goddess welcomes you to embrace the challenges that you faced in your life and use them as a springboard to catapult you into greater, right? But you got to be willing to surrender to the challenge first and foremost. And so throwing all of my clothes away was a complete surrenderance to that. Okay. I cannot make this up. Even the specific coach that I was just telling you all about just text me right now. You think that's coincidence? That's confirmation. You think that's just like happenstance? No. That's spirit being like, yeah, you on it. You tapped in. You realize what's happening. That's the gift of the dark goddess. The dark goddess offers you clarity where once you were blinded by the light, right? That's the thing. You have to know that if you are just surrounded by light and everything is just looking all glamorous, the glamour, right? If you are just under the illusion or under this spell, you still can't see. Bright light in your face, you can't see. Glamour in your face, you can't see. So the dark goddess is like, let's turn down the light. Let's look the other way. Let's enter the void so that we can come out seeing clearer, so that we can come out with a greater sense of clarity, clarity about ourselves, clarity about life, clarity about our growth, our healing, our transformation. All right. That's my message for y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. I appreciate the patience that my client has had. She messaged me back pretty quickly. Thank you, sis, because I know you are tuned in. Thank you for being so understanding. I am so looking forward to Womb Alchemy 2.0. Class is on Thursday, December 26th. I have 2 more spots in the class. Y'all better go and get it. Y'all better go and get it, right? I've already mailed. I'm sorry. I done put the wrong email in here. Hold on. Let me take that off. Delete comment. That wasn't what I was trying to show y'all. That wasn't what I was trying to show y'all. Let me put the Womb Alchemy 2.0 link in here for anybody that may be interested. Understand that when you get Womb Alchemy 2.0, you get to have a one-on-one 30-minute session with me, right? So if this conversation is interesting, if this is intriguing, if this is touching on something that you are like, okay, I need to understand more about that, join Womb Alchemy 2.0. You get 30 minutes with me. You get my old class that it's about like 8 hours of content, and then you get to join the actual live session where we really go in, and then I'm going to send you a gift that will support you in your spiritual work. Okay. I appreciate y'all. Let me see what AA said. That is exciting. I've had to go through a purging of my own, get to recreate and re-emerge into a whole new version of yourself. Exactly. And y'all, it happens in so many ways. Like, shit, I had to schedule a task rabbit. We got to change light fixtures in our house. Like, literally crazy, y'all. I'm in the bathroom the other day and I flicked the light on and it doesn't come on, right? Mind you, our house was built in 1998. And some of the things we hadn't had to change because it's been working since we moved here. We've been living in this house for 7 years. I go to like try to change the light bulb. The whole shit falls out the wall. The whole thing falls out the wall. I'm looking at cords. I'm like, are you for real? Dark goddess energy. And I'm so grateful because guess what I got to do, y'all? I got to scour the internet looking for my ideal light fixtures to go in my bathroom. And then I got inspired by that. So I'm like, okay, I'm changing my bathroom. We changing the dining room. So I got new light fixtures that's about to be put in. Like, that's what this energy is about. It's like, if that light would have came out and I'm like, fuck, I'm so mad at this. Why is this happening to me? Why? It's one thing after the other. First it's the light fixture. Now it's my clothes, and now it's this, and now it's that. If you have that perspective, you're going to continue to invite more chaos and less order. So when the chaos happens, it's okay to have a moment of frustration. I was frustrated for a moment. But after a little while, I got over it and I said, you know what, God, I know this is a gift and I receive it. All right. Anywho's, I'll be seeing y'all later. We'll be talking soon. Let me go have my consultation. I'm so excited to talk to the ladies today. Peace and love. Thank y'all for joining me. Stacy, I'll be reaching out to you in your email. Bye, y'all.